All right, it is Tuesday, December 19th. This is the Keep Laredo Beautiful Board of Directors meeting. It is approximately 3:43, and I am calling this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Jean Belmontes.
Present.
Myra Hernandez. Lynn Nava, present. Monica Cavazos. Graciela Villarreal.
Present.
Diane Gomez. Andy Linares. Laura Carolina Perez. Virginia Lopez. Jaime Heredia. Valentín Escamilla. Cynthia Guerra.
And we have a quorum. Okay. So the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the meeting of November 15th. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Second from Jaime. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Minutes have been approved.
Okay, so, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to overrule that one. The minutes from last time, is it something that we need to,
On the
review?
minutes, no, I think let me see. You have approval of the minutes, you have your citizen communications, discussion with possible action on the following items, the bylaws, motion to extend bylaws with an election held in December, because I just got the approval from the the city attorney, and then we have our planning committee, nothing for staff reports, and then just items, and we adjourned. Everything pretty much got tabled.
okay.
Yeah, everything was tabled.
Okay.
Okay, I need to clarify, because I don't think we have a quorum.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay,
4 out of 12.
that's not quorum.
How many do we need?
Under
Well,
the,
it's 7, isn't it? Or are we still working under old bylaws?
We're
or-
still working under our bylaws.
yes, we
Okay, so
haven't
it's a
adopted.
third.
Okay,
Yeah.
the third. Yeah, we haven't adopted to do this. We're
Okay.
going to today.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're good.
apologize.
No, you're fine.
So for our treasurer's report, are we going to wait for Monica, or are we going?
She's still here.
Okay.
Okay, so then I have on the agenda citizens communications. Do we have any citizens communications today? No citizens present. Okay. And the next item is item 5, discussion of possible action on the following items, and we're going to delay the treasurer's report.
Do you want me to do it until Monica gets here?
Let her deliver. She's gonna be here.
Yeah, you wanna.
Yeah, we'll just delay that for a second. And we're gonna go ahead and take up item B, bylaws. And so Ruby, walk us through the bylaws. I know that you had put out a document for us to look over, submit any suggestions, recommendations, wishes. And for the most part, nobody responded. I didn't respond, and I had a conversation with Ruby, and I basically told her that I did not want to be the one driving what the bylaws look like. I wanted the team to do that, and so I stayed away and didn't make any comments, knowing that most of them had already come out during that meeting when we talked about what we kind of wanted and want, and so what we see now is basically what the attorneys have come back and said. Of the things you wanted in there, of things that were missing, these are your bylaws as submitted back to the board.
Correct. So it's
So
just.
now, are we gonna approve them, or they're?
Well, I would look them over.
Let's go step
Let's
by
go-
step
mhm.
together, and then we can see the approval part.
Okay.
So then on the purpose, I added, which we're going, everything that's in yellow. I added vision because of the fact that sometimes when I'm applying for grants, they ask, what is your guys' mission and what is your guys' vision or purpose or mission as well. So that was on there, and I don't see why we should change it. It's pretty much what other affiliates have as their vision as well. Next, we have membership. And yes, everything that's on here has already been approved by the city attorney.
Okay.
So we have board members shall pay a fee of $50 a yearly fee annual membership starting January 1st. And honorary honorary members will pay $100 for a yearly annual membership starting January 1st. Next, we have Article 4, Board. Section 1, the board may also include no less than 2 and no more than 5 honorary board members. Honorary board members will serve as an ex officio, non-voting members, and shall help in the guidance of the organization. Honorary board members should consist of past directors, liaisons, ex officials of the board, and partners past or present.
Okay.
They do not, honorary board members will not have any voting rights. They will not have any term or anything like that. They're there to help us as well.
And who will be the honorary? Do we have any?
No, we don't have any right now, but we could look at past, as past directors or past liaisons or past partners. Like we can get somebody from Concentrics, we could get Blasita, anybody that has been involved with Kilby and is willing to serve but cannot commit, like by attending events and all of that. I think this would work good for them because they'll still, try to bring ideas to the table and see how they can help us when they have the opportunity to help us.
They cannot vote or anything?
They just can't vote.
Uh-huh.
And then the next part, we have the absences part. I was going over absences, and I know that there was a 5 to 6 month period where there was no director to really oversee any of this. So those absences, I really don't think we should hold it against anybody.
Right.
Well, they end anyway this year.
Yeah, and they'll end this year, so we'll start fresh. But it's on this part, and according to city ordinance, which I already added on there, this is how it should be. It should be each board member has a limit of 3 unexcused absences and 3 excused absences, within the limit of 4 absences allowed per board member per calendar year. And then a board member who exceeds this limit will be removed according to ordinance.
Mhm.
After that, we have quorum. The attorney made her suggestion, and these were the changes that were made. After a quorum is established, all action of the board, except as otherwise provided in these bylaws, should be by a majority vote of the board members present. Appointments as well, which is something that was not stated before in our bylaws. It's an appointment, how a board member comes into being a board member. Any interested Laredo citizen shall submit an application to Keep Laredo Beautiful, which will be reviewed by the program manager and director of environmental services department. Once the application has been reviewed, it will be sent over to the city manager. The city manager will appoint all board members with an approved majority of the city of Laredo City Council. However, the city manager shall have the power to fill any vacancies on the board for an unexpired term of office at the time that the vacancy occurs without requiring council action. And then we have removal, which is also wasn't there before.
Okay, and who installed these new bylaws? Yeah.
We worked on them here, and I worked on the bylaws to make it more, there's times where people ask me, well, where does it say that?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't said anywhere.
Okay, so you
So
just
this
created
is
it.
now,
Okay, let's create
okay,
it.
this
The
is here.
majority of what we're doing basically is to align them with the city's bylaws for all of their committees as well. There's ordinances in here that we need to apply that we weren't applying, that we need to. Also, there's a couple issues about the core establishing the quorum. There was one about automatic forfeiture, and then there was no, in our bylaws, it didn't say how you got onto the board, for example. We just kept saying, well, the city manager appoints you. Well, yeah, but there's a process for that appointment, and it's not necessarily by council. There was some confusion out there that we were council appointed, but there's not. I mean,
But the council is gonna have to vote on it.
the council
Yeah.
does ratify.
They always
that.
have voted on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always
But they
have.
only ratify it, just like, in other words, it's the choice of the city manager to let you onto the board, and then the council just ratifies.
Okay, sounds good.
So you're not serving at the request of a council member?
Yeah, that was my concern.
Yes.
Making
Yeah.
sure, making
Yeah,
sure,
we're not-
'cause- yeah.
Because that can get pretty,
Yes.
again, we're apolitical, and that would make it a little more
Exactly. It will
political.
make it political.
Yeah.
Removal. Members of the board are expected to participate actively in guiding the organization according to the board agreement and mission. Board members shall automatically forfeit their appointed position for failure to attend foreign unexcused meetings in 1 calendar year. The program manager staff liaison shall immediately notify the appointed city manager. See, that was already on there. City manager staff liaison immediately notify the appointed city manager. Nominating official following the forfeiture to allow for a new appointment of another individual to fill the removed member's unexpired term of office. Nothing here prohibits the city council from removing a board member at any time for any reason, including but not limited to inefficiency, neglect of duty, or misconduct in office prior to the end of the appointed member's term. Any board member removed or resigned shall wait 2 years before being reappointed. That last sentence was added on there, but from the point of 1 calendar year to that last sentence, all of that was already on there. I just highlighted the whole thing because I had to also change director to program manager because of the title.
Mhm.
Okay, but here it says for failure to attend 4 unexcused absences. So that only applies to unexcused absences. What about if they've got, you know, it says you can be removed if you've got 3 excused absences and 1 unexcused. You can still be removed because you have 4 absences.
Well, here it
And you're not
says
supposed to do
unexcused.
more than that.
Yeah, no more than 4. So to my understanding, it's both of them combined. So if you have 2 and 2 or 3 and 1, that's automatically
Right, but here it
But it
says
doesn't
4
specify.
unexcused.
4 unexcused.
It
So
should just
could
be
you say
4
four-
total
4
absent.
absences.
Four
Four
absences. So you need to scratch that one, or?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
just amend it that way.
Okay. So then
And so we'll put the amendment
For
there.
failure to attend 4 meetings.
Mhm.
4 meetings, okay.
There, that's what, that works.
Okay, so let's do this, just for housekeeping purposes and for the record. I will entertain an amendment to section 8, removal, to address the issue of unexcused versus total absences, with total absences being the amendment. Do I have a motion?
I so moved.
Have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. The amendment for section 8 removal carries.
Okay, before we go further, Jim,
Mine.
can secretary make a motion?
Yes, good board member. Absolutely.
Okay, just
Everybody
verifying,
can
just want
except,
to make a
except me.
verification. Okay,
I am the only one who cannot make a motion. Nor should I be. I should entertain, I should suggest, recommend, but I cannot. Bring a motion to the floor. Okay, so then the next item is section 1, term of office.
Yes, so term of office, there we added one more. The 5 officers, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and parliamentarian shall be elected from the existing board for a term of 1 year beginning January 1st of each year and ending on December 31st the following year. Officers who took position in August 22 shall serve until December 2023, which is what we agreed on this last one. Election nominations for board officers will be held at the discretion of the board by majority vote. Elections will be held every December, starting December 2023.
okay, we don't need to include officers who took a position in August 22 will serve until 2023. That can be
Take it off?
eliminated,
Okay, we'll take that off.
because that issue's moved.
Then on the next page, we have the parliamentarian, what their duties will be as parliamentarian, which shall ensure that the bylaws of the organization are followed unless otherwise provided in the bylaws. The parliamentarian will see that Robert's Rules of Order are followed. And then next we have my title, but it's all highlighted because once again, as I had mentioned, the name of my title changed from executive director to program manager. So that's that, but everything's the same, I still gotta work. Next, we have political activity, the one that, we have section 3 now. Any board member running for any political position, either being state, city, county, school districts, must resign their position and notify the program manager, staff liaison via email. Board members shall refrain from utilizing their membership for any political gain. Any member using Keep Laredo Beautiful for their own personal political gain shall be removed.
Okay, I'm gonna have to object that one, because I don't know if you're aware, I'm running for state representative. But, I mean, I remember seeing only city, county, whatever, and I don't think it will be an issue for me running for state representative. That's no motion, within the city, it's the state. So
But we
that's-
are a state-funded organization to some degree, we get some grants to do the state. That would concern me, that would be the old,
Yeah, that would
and
be-
federal as well, because if we become part of Keep America Beautiful, we would be
Yeah.
facing that issue as well.
Well, I remember Priscilla was running as well for a certain position within the city, and she was allowed to be part of Keep Laredo Beautiful, so I will find it,
Well, agreed.
who changed that one, because I remember seeing that one.
Well, because it's starting to fall again. This is falling in line with the city's ordinances for boards.
Well, I'm gonna have to object that one, again, giving you my reasons, I don't see in any way that me working for the state will intervene with this position as well. Volunteer as a board member for Keep Laredo Beautiful.
The difference between working for the state and running for political office is the only distinction we're going to make. So, if you're running for political office, we need to be really careful that we keep an arm's length difference between political campaigns and the
Only
organization.
because Gracie, I'm sorry, Jean.
Yeah.
Only because Gracie, it's real touchy because our IRS code, the 501c3, has actual verbiage in there about not having political affiliations.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
I'm gonna have to defend my part, so.
Yeah, I
No, no,
understand.
that's fair.
So,
We
yes,
thoroughly
of course,
understand.
I'm
No
gonna tell
worries.
you that.
No.
We do understand that.
So, I don't know, it's up to you too, but I'm gonna have to object it, so. And I am requesting to overrule it again, I'm saying my point of view, but it is up to you guys. So I already know it's not,
I understand. So, the way to entertain the amendments the same way we did the other one. So, I'll entertain a motion on the floor to.
because I don't think, honestly, it will be any conflict of interest, like, I'm gonna be running Representative Raymond's campaign while being part of Keep Laredo Beautiful as a district director was never an issue, even though I was running somebody else's campaign, so. And you know that I'm really involved in Keep Laredo Beautiful, and I really love participating in volunteering, so it's not only part of helping my community, but it's also a part of me.
I agree. But the difference is that you're the candidate now. It's the only difference. I just want to make sure that that's a distinction that we both make, is that you're the candidate now. It's different from running someone else's campaign.
Yes, I
So,
understand that.
and I do recognize that prior to this adoption, we didn't have this in here because we were not in sync with the city's ordinances, which again, speak to that in the boards. And primarily those boards of decision-making power, like the Ethics Committee, Planning and Zoning, Board of Adjustments, and Building Standards and Codes. Those are all, because those are all boards of record, then absolutely cannot be running for.
I mean, I understand your point, but again, I'm exposing my point of view and saying that I don't think there will be any conflict of interest. Running for state representative, on the contrary, I think it will be very beneficial, but again, expressing my point of view, it will be very beneficial for me to be, getting involved within the state and still trying to give back to Webb County. Because I'm not only running for representing Webb County, I'm running representing other counties as well, so it will not just only be Webb County.
Again, I want to reiterate that this is no reflection of you.
That's right.
Because if it was strictly on that basis, then I think this is an amendment that we could do without. The reality is that you're not going to be the only person who ever steps on this board who makes a decision to run for an office. And there are those who may.
I mean, I understand city. I'm not questioning here city or county. I'm questioning here the state. So. the state, not city, because I understand city will be more conflict of interest, and I totally agree with it.
What about the others?
Uh,
County school districts?
Well, county as well, not school districts, no. I mean, I agree that it will stay here.
With the county as well? Because we do
But
interact with the county as well.
Yeah, because I will be representing several counties, so I would say state and county. So, but it's up to you. Again, I mean, I'm exposing my point of view,
Yes.
and it is
So-
not my decision at the end, it will be the decision of the board, but I would
Correct.
like for them to take into consideration that I'm highly active volunteer, not only just highly active, highly devoted to keep Laredo beautiful, and I want for them to take that into consideration. And at the end, the decision is the board's member decision, so.
So the way to handle this one is I will entertain a motion to either remove or amend section 10, political activity, article 10, sorry, section 3, in political activity.
Correct.
So,
Remove
yes,
or amend?
either way, amend or remove, but I need a motion to do that. And then we need to come up with the language that you want there in that event. So whoever's making the motion needs to make the motion exactly how they want it to appear.
I'll make a motion for us to remove the words state and county and keep active the words city and school districts.
So I have a motion on the floor to amend Article 10, political activity, section 3, with the removal of state and county from the definition. Do I have a second?
I think that before we remove that we clear it with the attorney. I mean, because the attorney proofread these articles or these bylaws.
Isn't that why we're here today? Was like to, like this was the final version? Because I mean, you sent it out to everybody
Correct.
for them to
Well,
review it.
Because
And then we
legal-
talked about
Can we
this
get
2
clarification
meetings
on that?
prior.
Can we just vote on it today?
Well, we didn't have this before. So if we didn't have this before, then it really wasn't an issue. We are adding it now just to take precautions. So at the end, it's up to you all what you all want to restrict or not on there.
I think
So
that-
if we can, if we amend it, I mean, it'll still be approved. It's not something that has to be on there, because I did check ordinances and everything, and nowhere does it say unless it's city, because KLB is a city
Correct.
entity.
I mean, and it is more understandable city, I mean, given that the conflict, it will be a conflict of interest within the city, but I don't think it will be an issue with the state.
I have a motion. I have a motion on the floor with the amendment to remove state and county from Article 10, political activities, section 3. Do I have a second?
So it's to remove the whole thing,
No.
No,
but
just
that's-
state and
State
county, okay.
And again, school districts and city would apply. If you are running for a political office in either one of those two political subdivisions, you would resign, you must resign. In this particular case, we're saying if you're running for state or county, or the feds, because it's not in here, that we would be okay with that.
Do I have a motion to?
So I have a motion. Do I have a second to remove those two items?
Any of you guys? Motion?
I can't.
Okay, you?
I'm not a board member.
Board members. How many board members here?
It's the other, it's
Four.
just, it's,
You five right now.
yeah,
And I can't-
Jaime and I
Okay, who
are,
else?
I can't second the motion.
So it's just one person? Well, then I'm gonna request at
So-
least
So the
four
motion,
more board
so that
members
particular motion
on hold until there's more
dies.
board members.
Well, we'll bring that up as a motion in a second. First, this motion dies for lack of a second.
Correct.
Do you want to amend it to remove county?
Yes, I want to
Okay, so we're going to amend it.
remove.
There's a motion
state
on the
and county.
floor to amend Article 10, political activity, and only remove state from from section 3.
only state or state and county?
No, we're gonna leave county in. If you're running for a county office, you cannot participate in the board. You must resign.
I'm gonna make a motion to remove state.
To just remove state.
Motion to just remove state.
So I have motion on the floor to amend Article 10, Political Activity, Section 3, the removal of the word state.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. 3-1, it passes.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay,
Okay, so we will remove the word state from Section 3. In any board member running for political position, either being city, county, school district, must resign their position and notify the program manager via email. Okay?
and then the last thing on there, in the event of any of the conflict between these bylaws and city or state regulation, the city or state regulation shall take precedence.
Yeah.
Which is something that wasn't on there before.
Okay.
So then, right now, we're gonna approve them as amended, right? Okay.
Yes, as amended. So let the record reflect that the board has voted to amend Article 4 board, Section 8 removal, to include the word total meetings, 4 total meetings in 1 calendar year, and Article 10, political activity, Section 3, removal of the word state. And so now, I have a new set of bylaws that has been read by the board, and I will entertain a motion to adopt the new bylaws as amended. I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The new bylaws are adopted. Okay, so that triggers a few things. That triggers Article 5, officers. The election, the nomination of board of officers will be held at the discretion of the board by majority vote. Elections will be held every December, starting December 23. So we must have an election since we adopted these things.
Yes.
Okay, so let us proceed first because we do have a couple things that are on the agenda. And let's see if we can okay, so the bylaws have been adopted. Let's move on to item C, board members. Board member appointments. Do you have any new board member appointments?
No, I'm sorry, Jean. When I meant by board member appointments, I meant,
Nominating committee.
officers.
Officer, board member nominations.
Yes, that's what I meant, I'm sorry.
Okay, so.
I want to take a quick pause though. I know it should be on here somewhere, but where's quorum?
Quorum is in
But-
the,
Section 5.
But,
in section 5, right? I'm sorry, Article 5, board, section 3, about the last 2 sentences of the page.
doesn't
8
say how many.
appointed voting board members constitutes a quorum.
Do you all want to keep that way? I know you're already, but
So, do you want to discuss it?
I do. I know we had 1/3, but she suggested that it should be 8.
Well, 8 is
The
2/3.
number not to exceed, huh?
8 is 2/3.
8 is 2/3, yes.
So, do you want to discuss it?
It's hard to get,
Do I have a motion to reopen the bylaws?
I move that we reopen the bylaws.
Do I have a second? Motion, that's second, motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So we are rediscussing the bylaws.
I'm sorry.
You're
So
still
yeah,
looking
it says 8, and then at the next page it says at least a third. So is 8 the 3rd?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
but it's
eight.
not, because if you don't have a full board,
A
Then-
special meeting may be
yeah,
called.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
only about, this is only focusing on the special meeting. So if the special meeting is called, then the board president can say, we need to have a meeting, and I only need a third of the appointed board to, right, to be able to call it.
Because right now we're only 12. So that means we need to get 8 out of 12 here.
Mhm.
Then that would be wrong. Because it's half, well, it would be like 7, half plus 1.
well, yeah, but it goes back, when your board gets shrunk, because
If you're only
leave or
8,
whatever, and
then,
you're only
you know,
8, then you have to have 5 people here, which seems normal, but the problem comes in when the people that have left the board were the ones that participated the most.
Right.
And then you have 3 people showing up and you really need those other 2.
I agree, because then you're shrunk, you've shrunk it to the point where one absence hurts the quorum.
I know, and it's happened in the past. That's the only reason I can actually talk to it, because it's happened in the past.
So you want to keep the one, so Ms. Ruby, do you want to keep the 1/3 one?
She
Okay,
can't
so-
find it.
okay,
She's
good.
worked, she's
Calm
read it too
down,
many
second
times.
page.
Calm down.
Down at the bottom, section 3,
Okay.
Oh,
here it is.
use your
Okay.
pen, highlight it, with the
8
little
appointed. It's
arrows.
because it's not
Ask-
highlighted and this should have been highlighted.
Okay. So do you want us to revisit that particular item and potentially adopt the 1/3 rule versus 8 members?
We can do 5, or you give me like 8 just seems very, I mean, look at us right now.
I would just say 1/3.
Yeah.
So that you, it doesn't matter how big your group is,
Exactly.
you just need to.
Yeah,
get
as
the
long as
number
you, but you have to put in there 1/3 of active board members.
Right.
Because then that way, the ones that aren't active, you're gonna know that those are the ones that don't show up. They have the absences
Well,
and
that
stuff.
would be kind of vague, because how do you know, identify exactly the active ones? So, you know, the other one might
Well,
say, oh, I'm not very active
Because
as
of their
well, so
absences, I would say.
You have to be specific.
Well, that,
Well,
like, well,
in-
from the minutes, like,
Right.
who voted, who seconded,
Exactly.
who motioned.
But again, it's hard to determine exactly with certainty who's active
And-
and not active.
and I'm
that could be,
going-
you know,
To advocate or suggest to you all that the number be 5. 1/3 or a minimum of
a
5. Because an even number
That's a good wording.
could
I
create,
like that.
right?
I'll say
Could create a-
exactly, well, 1/3 or maximum 4 that are able to vote. Because otherwise.
It's gotta
you
be a
have
minimum
lot
of 5,
people.
because-
It's
Because
1/3.
if you don't have 5, you'll never break ties.
Okay, I mean, that's, yeah,
What
You'll
did I
never be able to
say?
break a tie.
yeah, you're right.
I told Ruby that. I
You
said,
are
there's no
absolutely
even
right
numbers in
about this.
voting.
So right now, there's 4 of us, but I'm the 5th, right?
Yes.
So I can break the
Tie.
tie.
Tiebreaker.
So there's
You're
5
right.
of us here today.
Correct.
So
Okay,
let's-
that way.
Say,
Yes.
Okay,
I agree.
so then so I will entertain a motion to amend Article 4 Board, Section 3 meetings to reflect
Pause.
a quorum.
Can we do that? Can we pause?
Can you pause?
Can you
Point of
pause?
order.
But point of order. Can you read this? Because we did have 5.
Because you did have 5 appointed, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
her comments.
5 may not constitute a quorum. Section states the board would consist of, at most, 15 members. The quorum in that case would be 8. Also, do honor or no, they don't. And they do. So again, that's why you want to use the 1/3.
Yeah.
Okay,
The 1/3 is 5,
Mhm.
right? Of
Yeah.
15,
okay.
right?
So we'll use the word 1/3.
1/3,
I agree.
but no less than 5.
Okay. 1/3, but no less than 5.
Right, will constitute a quorum.
So 1/3, no less than 5. 5 constitutes a quorum. Okay, so then we'll remove 8 appointed voting for. 1/3, no less than 5 appointed board members.
Right.
Appointed voting
A
board.
quorum is established for the board to conduct their business. 1/3 of the appointed, 1/3 but no less than 5 of the appointed voting board members constitutes a quorum. Because if you leave it to a third, there's only 5 of us, well then
Yeah.
2 makes them quorum.
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so then, again, I will entertain a motion for Article 4, Board, Section 3 meetings to reflect the language constituting a quorum to be 1/3, but no less than 5 of the appointed voting board members constitutes a quorum. Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
Can I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Ah,
All those opposed, same sign, motion carries. All right. So now we have the bylaws have now been taken care of.
Now I'm happy. Okay.
So item C is board member nominations, not appointments, / nominations to the executive board, right?
Correct.
Executive board. At this time, what I would do is I would take in writing on paper nominations for the board by cup.
Give you the scrap paper so we can vote. Gee, with his ink tag.
Oh, we can use
They
those.
work.
Okay.
That's
Right
it done.
here, put it on here, pass it down for first president, right?
First for president?
C.
Let's see. We'll start with, or do you want to start from the bottom?
Start from the bottom.
Parliamentarian first. Who you all vote for parliamentarian, even though if they're not here.
Even if they're not present, all the board members you see here,
Okay, so we
Yeah.
have all these names. Okay.
Yeah.
some people are gonna get all told, so.
Yes.
Snooze you lose, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Parliamentarian.
Does everybody know who's on the board? That's
Yes.
the other question.
We have the,
I was asking the same question.
I'm working on getting us new ones. Hi.
With a little picture.
Okay, here. Let's do
Yeah, pass it down so. Nobody sees your votes. We don't want any voter fraud.
Here. Why? The city doesn't win.
Priscilla, you don't count, okay? No voter fraud. No,
Pass the cup.
Parliamentarian. We're now, we're voting for parliamentarian, okay? Well, you all know.
I got them back. This is you.
Oh, first.
Yeah, okay.
Here, you were supposed to, here, she was supposed to pass this down.
Well, that was quick.
Do you want to get started on
Okay, let
that?
me start in the next one. Let me take a few sheets here.
Yeah, let me see.
There we go. That's for the rest of them. Okay.
Please.
Who's next? Treasurer? Secretary?
That's for the next ones.
Yes, please. Hold it here.
Oh,
I was at the top of my.
Parliamentarian.
Treasurer.
And we can vote for people that aren't here for June. Okay. Start thinking for secretary while the thing goes down. If you still have Post-its, go ahead and start writing your choice for secretary. So I need to get a water thing. Like a oh, cute, like dispenser for water. Put one for my fridge in the fridge.
Is
I have one in
everyone,
my garage.
is everyone who's on the board still gonna be, nobody's term is up, right?
The only
Anyone-
one, there's 2 terms that are ending in April, and that is Jane's and Myra's.
So like exclude them from,
I mean, they can, and then we can just refill it later. Cause I think that's on there now, the bylaws, like, we can
we
still,
can switch it up.
yeah.
They're lost somewhere.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say they're lost somewhere.
I got my little piece, I'm like,
I
okay,
know, I already have,
just an extra.
you need,
Oh, Jane needs to vote.
okay, next
Need to vote.
is,
Oh, I'm sorry.
the cup is still there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry.
Yes, okay, you can go ahead and start writing for everything y'all want. This is the list of names, Jane, if you need. Yeah, she's gonna, to give it to Mr. Gonzalez. Go ahead and start thinking on your treasure. That's who's next, I'm sorry, I said secretary, but that's your treasure. Okay. Mr. Linares, nice for you to join us.
Now that I remember.
Let the record reflect that Anthony Mattis has joined us, and Virginia.
And
Wait, the last
she's
one,
gonna
Virginia,
give you
come
some
on.
post-its so you,
Lopez.
Okay, you can vote for
parliamentarian,
parliamentarian,
Okay.
treasurer.
cause I have
Well,
like,
first parliamentarian.
yeah, first parliamentarian. And then you give that one to me. Do you have the list of names?
So you can just look at this or the active
Yeah.
members.
Or you can look here too. This will tell you.
Starting with
Somebody
the,
want to run for it,
No,
No, we're just voting.
We're just voting
You vote
blind.
for who you want. Who you think
Okay, put
suits
yourself
that chair. And he's the next president.
or- Okay, so what are we looking for?
Right now, I'm waiting for his for parliamentarian. Right now, we're doing treasure.
Well,
Here. Wait. Yes. First parliamentarian, and you pass it to me. Like that I can break a. Oh, no, I don't have to. Or do I? Okay, that's parliamentarian. Okay. Now give the cup to Lynn so she can put in her treasure vote. Then you need to decide on treasure. Once you've
That's
decided
treasure.
on treasure, Andy, you're gonna pass it down to
Yeah,
Graciela.
you'll just keep it, it's gonna be the moving ballot box.
this is the treasure.
Yes. Okay, so our new parliamentarian is gonna be Laura Jimenez. Okay, congratulations to Laura. So don't vote for her for anything else. Sorry.
She's taken off the list.
Okay. treasurer. Now you guys are voting for a secretary.
Wait, wasn't
That one was-
secretary first?
No, it's
Treasurer.
treasurer. Sorry. Well,
You're
come
still
get
voting
yours.
Come get it
Come
and
get it.
revote.
I haven't opened it yet. You remember your folding skills, right?
Yes, this one's.
My
color and
my folding
skills.
So,
It's all about the color.
treasurer. Treasurer. Oh, I thought you were peeking. I said no voter fraud. No, I'm just kidding.
Come on,
Oh, that was an easy one. Okay, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
By 6 votes, Monica, you're the treasurer again.
Fantastic. I'm the only one who voted for someone else then.
She did such a good job, sorry.
Okay, Monica. You're like, this is too much work. Okay, next secretary. I'm sorry, I was supposed to pass this down.
Is this for?
Secretary. You guys, whoever y'all are voting for secretary will be in charge of the minutes, which is something we deeply need help with.
Secretary, right?
Yes. Okay, now the secretary votes are coming in. You guys can start voting for your vice president. Our vice president will take over in the case of our president is not here. Somebody voted for somebody. I'm gonna have to take off your vote because I scratched them off the list. They are no longer on the board.
Oh, what's the list?
Xiomara. Xiomara's no longer on the board.
Who has the list?
Somewhere. Oh no, she has it. We're gonna have to do secretary again. There's ties all around. And as mentioned, the secretary is in charge of writing the minutes. So we make sure that our secretary can write. Nothing against anyone.
You already voted me for treasurer, so I'm gonna do it.
Okay,
So we're gonna.
Okay, but
I'm getting vice president in right now, and then we'll do thank you, Ms. Sati, and then we're gonna do secretary again, because there was a tie all around.
So this is vice president.
Yeah, that's vice president. Once we're done with vice president, we're gonna come back to secretary. Okay, the three that were on there was for secretary was Myra, Lynn, and Graciela. So choose from one of those three.
Lynn.
Graciela.
Just Lynn, because I'm the first one to be seen.
Graciela.
let's all vote for Myra.
What's it called?
She's not here.
No. Lynn's hand. It's really hard for her to do the secretary. That's why I said somebody that can.
I have arthritis in my hand.
Lynn, you can try.
No! I'm just gonna get you recorded.
It's yours. Vacation.
We'll get you a speaker right
I
around.
didn't even it's still short. Look, there's a pen.
Where's my vice president? Oh, Lee.
Secretary,
Jean. I mixed Jen and Jean.
Sorry.
Vice president.
Can we do secretary again?
Yeah, do
Yeah,
secretary
secretary
again,
again.
please. Choose somebody. This is vice president, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. I like it. It's different. Okay. For vice president, it'll be Lynn Nava.
So now you can't be secretary.
She can't be secretary, guys.
You're laughing.
Okay, let me get that secretary position in before we start going for president. Oh, is that secretary?
Secretary.
Oh, I had the cup still? I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. Secretary? That's okay.
I got
was waiting for
distracted.
paper, but I just pour another one now.
Yes. Hello? Monday. If you want to, yeah, that's fine. Oh, but just don't park where the city vehicles are. Wait. Oh, yeah, so I have secretary here, right?
Yeah.
I'm not missing anyone? Okay. Okay, start voting for your president.
Right.
Oh, it was a close one, Andy. But Myra beat you. Myra is, you guys didn't vote for her for president because those votes will be out. She's our secretary. Myra is president. I will be the president, guys. I'll be at all events. I won't miss a single meeting. President. Okay, so for president, and they keep beating you. Gina's our president again for this year. By one vote, you just needed to pay them.
Can I advocate and say, let Eddie do it?
That was my
You
vote.
can, if you
That was my
want.
vote.
You could have been like, aquí están los $5.
No, es que el primo dijo, mira, prima, te voy a dar comer. Just kidding.
I brought lunch.
So,
Just
Jean,
joking.
Yes.
yes, or do you want to pass it over?
Please do us the honor of serving another.
It's an honor to serve you all.
Yay.
If you all will have me, then I will be your president.
Jean. Okay, so So for your president, you have Jean Belmares, vice president Lynn Nava, secretary Myra Hernandez, for treasurer Monica, and parliamentarian Laura Jimenez, which should be arriving any second now. It smells so good.
Before Jean calls up the planning committee report or planning committee item, we're
Okay.
gonna discuss with the planning committee.
Oh, yeah, so planning, the next item on there is planning committee appointments. And this is for like anything for throughout the whole year, because we just had it for specifically for the Speranza Awards. But if we have, I want to have an event in the summer that's going to be different. So I want to have this planning committee for that, for the Speranza Awards or any other thing, you know, if we were to do the float again, it would all be for that, just planning in general for our little stuff. Yeah, so for everything in general. That's what that planning committee would be for.
Hi,
Just to let you know, you are.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
You were
Oh, you
voted.
know about my award that I got?
No, well, congratulations.
That too.
But they have voted you as our parliamentarian.
Yay!
Thank you. Let me Google that. Thank you.
Your, what's it called, your duties are right here,
Okay.
in our bylaws.
Okay.
As long as you have our bylaws in order, you should be good.
Okay.
Okay, so the next item we have is one we passed over and we're gonna go back to, and that is item number 8, treasurer's report.
Do we have to?
You didn't think I was keeping stress, did you? 'Cause I'm all distracted over here, sorry.
Hey,
I'm firefighting
by
at the
the
moment.
food.
I know the smell.
This smells so good.
The fire truck is out.
Okay, so you guys should have a copy in your packets of this. So Ruby tried to show me on the Google Docs thing, but it's just, it was too simple, like, it was just numbers, so it didn't really give an explanation. So I wanted to again try and do it this way, the way I showed it to you guys in the November meeting. But this one's a little bit of a better breakdown. And what I really wanted to impress upon you guys, or to show you guys, is more like on the, there's like a front and a back, because we did 2 events. This one's covering 2 events. It's covering Arbor Day, which was in November, and then our December activity, the Winter Beautification Project. So on the back page is more like what I want you guys to pay attention to, is how much it really costs to put on an event. And so if we accumulate everything,
This one.
This part, look. Yeah, oh,
yeah,
this is what you're gonna talk
you
about.
should have
Ours
4
is not
pages.
double-sided.
Monday?
Oh,
Ours is
no.
not double-sided.
Oh, sorry,
it's
I'm
right
sorry.
here.
Mine is
Yeah, but it
also-
has to be the second page then, right?
Yeah, it's the third page.
We're looking for this little paragraph right here.
Yeah,
Yes.
the third page with this little paragraph.
So, like, for Arbor Day tree planting event, and this is not even, like, other costs, you know, that we're here, and like, we spend $1 here, $1 there, this is just like the major. It costs $22,000 to put on that event.
$22,000.
That's just an estimate. And so the breakdown is what you see here. And so anything that you see in like a dollar amount in parentheses, that's monies that were given to us that didn't come out of our specific budget. So like us, because I kind of broke it down a little bit further, let me get my copy. Okay, so it's $22,496 plus the cost of labor. So if we were to consider our volunteers as paid labor, or more importantly, the city employees that come to help us, because we don't pay them, the city does. And so all included, that's $40,000. So that's like the cost of the event plus labor. And so like what was given to us, basically apart from what we paid for, is basically like $24,000. And so it's not just KLB, like where our monies come from. A lot of it, you need to look into seeing, you know, how much money like the city actually supports us. Whether it be in human capital, like we have 210 volunteers, but yet we had 18 partners with us. We had 18 city employees from the Parks Department, and then five members from the Environmental Services. So that's labor that we're not paying for. And this too, like on this event, I don't know what I'm trying to say. We're spending a lot of money. Like just basically it was to show you guys like how much it really costs to put on an event, to let you all know that it's not just KLB and our budget. There's other like factors or other agencies that are coming in. We do, and it's not consistent, get monetary donations. Like for our Arbor Day tree planting, we got $6,000, but that doesn't really offset anything. For our other events, like we haven't gotten any other donated items that I know of. The other things that we get donated are in kind. So it's things that I hadn't even considered that would have been things that we would have had to pay for had we not been KLB. Like the public access channel coming and showing up, doing the interviews, filming the events, having Willy Bote there. I had no idea that that's something that the city charges for, but
Correct,
they do.
they do, even for the trash cans.
Yeah, and then for, I don't know if it was for that event too, if you see
Yeah, parks.
like
events,
the
and-
event setup and the production, the DJ sound system, the food truck, the ice chest, the chairs, the tents, and the labor that it took to put that up. So that wasn't us paying for that.
Of course. Just see.
So I don't know if this is the way that you would want to see your projects broken down.
I actually find it,
Would you rather see it in more of like a spreadsheet and just numbers? Because we did start our new fiscal year in October? So we did get a new set of funds, so we could start with like, we had 80 grand and this is how it's going down. So I can show you that kind of effect on our budget, or is this more what you want to see, like what it costs to put?
I think we, as a board member, we also need to see what our budget is, because I don't think that most of the board members realize that the operating budget, not the complete budget, just the operating budget for our programs and our projects is only like $30,000.
Yeah,
And that's for the whole year. If you
Yeah.
look at the numbers,
yeah, like we basically start upside down and we end
Yeah.
way upside down.
and so we need to budget more efficiently so that our monies last us the whole year. So then we're not worried about where we're going to get things for our programs. Because unfortunately, everybody's belt is tight right now. So we really need to focus on being very efficient with our monies. And if that means we go from, eating pizza to eating hot dogs, that's what we have to do, because we have to stay within our budget, because we do not have funds to pull from. We're not a department or a division that's big enough to actually pull from line items like other people do, because we're very small. Our overall budget is 125,
No, 100
180.
for the whole, that includes, salary and everything.
Right. So you can see that there's not a lot of money there to play with.
Yeah.
So that's the reason that it is important to know where our money's going, and this is the perfect way to do it.
yeah. think
That was
it's
gonna
actually
be my,
pretty
that was
good.
gonna be my question, then now that you brought it up, I'm like, how do we know we can spend $22,000 if we're not seeing what the operating budget?
Yeah.
Like, who decides to spend $22,000?
Actually, I find this.
Or
very
$11,000
organized.
on trees?
Yeah,
So who decides that, that yes, we have the money?
yeah, like how
for
many
that?
trees can we buy? Like
How
maybe
many
we shouldn't do
trees?
22 or.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna ask now, like, so then, yes, for.
We've never done this, but there's never been a treasurer. So there was never somebody who kind of broke it down like that. So that's why I'm learning to build something for us that works, that shows us like where we start. But it's always like this, like if you look at this and you really like,
Actually, this is pretty good if you want to just actually dig into the project itself, but actually we would like to see, where the money we start and how it's.
right, and that's what I don't have. I
And
don't
then
have
going
like,
back
where
to-
did we start? And then, because I would have to go backwards from October from when we got our money and then start
Correct.
taking it down.
Exactly.
Because it's not, it doesn't, it's, our budget isn't just our projects. It's like all the stuff that Ruby uses for her classroom, like for when she goes to educate the students. So it's a lot of that other stuff that's not even in here. Like this is just an event.
Correct.
Yeah.
Also, I think, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I look at my P&L every day, but, like, for example, like this, I know I'm probably jumping ahead because I didn't see anything on the Arbor Day expenses on the, it
The
was-
Boys and Girls Club one?
No, it was spent on supplies, 32.
The big one.
Planting supplies, 21 trees, oh, it was 21 trees, okay. Like, depreciation, because I know Ruby mentioned last time that we do have a lot of, what's it called? Like the rakes and the shovels and all of that. Well,
See,
so
that's not
maybe
even
also
including that,
needs to be, I think, priced, so we can also do a depreciation, because when are we gonna know when we need to buy more, or when we need to ask for donations specifically for that?
And see, and that's another
There's
thing that
another
I think in
budget.
our last one that we accounted for, that for the fall sweep, we got supplies donated from Keep Texas Beautiful. And so if we monetize that, that would
Another
be
thing
considered.
too is remember that tools do break.
That's what I'm
It's
saying,
like
we
it's a-
do need to
it
take
is.
an account for that, like depreciation. Okay, this shovel's gonna last us 10 years, why did it not last us 10 years, or whatever the lifetime is for a shovel, but.
I want to make a correction here though. It says algae nursery and landscaping, 15 live oak trees.
See, I didn't know if that,
That one
No, that was
does
us.
not, yeah, that was not us. That is parks.
On 1013?
But I think that was just a quote. This does not count because it was just a quote. We do need to get 3 quotes, and that was Parks quote, so you might want to scratch that off, the algae nursery and landscaping.
This one?
On the first page.
It was just a quote.
Yeah, it was just a quote. Because anything over 500, I do need to go out and get 3 quotes. Because we actually bought our trees from Mission. And as you can see, LG was trying to charge us a little bit over than what Mission actually ended up charging us. Seeing what Parks,
oh, so it's really
yeah,
what the parks paid.
the two. Yeah, that one is not what we paid. But Gilby did end up buying, so what we did is, since we bought it together like that, we could have the delivery the same day and everything. And on the winter one, we're just missing the food donation from Domino's.
Pizza.
Yeah, but it was a donation to the Boys and Girls Club. And we base ourselves, well, I base myself on the amount we're gonna spend depending on the type of event that we'll be having based off of our calendar for the year. So I already know this event's coming up, this is how much we're gonna actually spend, this is what we're gonna use. Because as we do say, we do have a small budget. So from those $6,000 that were donated for Arbor Day, those would actually be going to trees. So from the 11,000, you would subtract those 6, and we would actually have spent 5,455 on trees instead of the 11, because that money was for trees. And I think what Monica was trying to say is just that there's so many in-kind services.
Like all in all, like the event cost what it cost. What money we put in was like 15,000 out of that. And then City of Laredo put in about 6,000 of that. And of that, in that 15 comes out that 6. So really we paid like what, 8?
Yeah.
9.
Yeah, and that's not counting the total cost of in-kind labor from.
Yeah, so basically we
KLB
paid
does not-
$8,395.
Yeah. KLB does not pay the city employees to work those events. Each respective department pays their overtime, or there is times where environmental services does pay for the other department's overtime. And looking at this is going to help us look into our upcoming year with the calendar I actually have for you guys that's coming up. And hopefully we kind of see what events we can actually host and how we will host those upcoming events. See, and what helped us with the winter one is that we already had trees at the tree farm that we got to use for winter. That we purchased that we didn't use, that, you know, Parks ended up putting in those trees instead of the ones we purchased. That's something that's something that helped us this last event. That's why you won't see any trees, just the plants that we purchased.
353.
Yeah.
That's it? That's the, all right. Well, then in that case,
Every month I'm gonna be building on this, you know.
motion to accept the treasurer's report as submitted. Do I have a motion for that? I'll entertain that motion. A second? I have a second behind me. So all those in favor of accepting the treasurer's report as submitted, signify by saying aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, item 5, section 5, agenda item D, planning committee appointments. Okay, Ruby, spin your magic on this one.
Whoever wants to be in the planning committee. I think I already told them what it's gonna consist of.
Okay,
That would be interesting.
Okay.
okay, so I have Gracie volunteer,
I do need at least 5, okay?
Monica,
Virginia?
Maybe committee for what, or just
Carolina?
for?
Everything.
For everything for the rest
Virginia,
of
Carolina.
2022 and forward.
I have to.
For anything. For anything that we're gonna have for the year.
I do.
Yes, you can do it for fun.
Laura, any one more person? Okay, I was already gonna look at the other one.
I need to sit on my hands.
Okay, so we have Graciela, Monica, Virginia. And Andy, okay. Okay, that sounds good. So you guys, for anything, I'll give you all a call. And that's it. Motion.
Okay, so our committee members are selected and they are,
Graciela Villarreal, Monica Cavazos, Virginia Lopez, Laura Perez, Andy Linares, and Lynn Nava.
okay. So we move on to agenda item number 6, staff reports. These are non-action items. The affiliate activity report,
I'm gonna go through it really fast, guys, just
because you can smell the food. like,
yes,
yeah, okay.
that's exactly why. And it's a bit brief, so I try to just stick to the point. So it just talks about Arbor Day. We had a total of 204 volunteers with 108 trees planted and then 660 pounds of trash was collected that day. Great event. One little bump, but it's okay. It happens. Second was winter beautification event. We had 52 volunteers, 40 plants and trees together. That went really well as well. We did some trainings this month. We had some outreach as well, you know, all the winter stuff going on. And that's it. That's it for that. Next, I know it was requested on the last meeting. Y'all want to take a look at our annual report. So this is our 2023 annual report. So there you'll see everything, every event we had, every cleanup partnership we had, any career deal outreach there was, any training that while I was present had been attended. So if y'all just want to take a quick look over that, it is all there.
Ms.
Did
Ruby,
you get that donation
We
from?
can try doing
You think
something
it's
like
beautiful?
this. Similar and then
On Google or?
I think that would be great, right?
No, I just have
Is this
the.
correct?
But then I remember you asked me about the
And then something
$3,000,
simple
is that the same one or different on the?
No, that one, yeah, that one's for the hour testing.
Yeah, that one's for the
grant.
That was a different grant,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, this is
Yeah,
how we
no,
know
It should be about, I think,
part of the
1,500.
somewhere else.
I
This is what
have it.
For every associate that volunteered to the Make a Difference, it will be $100, so it was 13 of us. We were more, but it was like spouses,
Do you know
so-
when they sent it?
No, I asked you if you had received it, no, so I can look into it.
No. I
I'll
have
look
not
into
received
it
it.
tomorrow.
Did you all have any questions on our annual report?
I do.
Yes, sir.
For the total value, you're reflecting 226,916.
Yes. You're talking about volunteer, right?
It just says value. The total hours is 1, and then your total value, and I'm assuming this includes volunteer hours and or cash.
Yeah, so the value is on the, what a, by KTB, I believe it is a monetary value. of what we would pay each volunteer per hour.
Got it. So
So-
that number 226 is representative of.
Paying $29.95 per hour per volunteer.
And that's a state standard or state number?
Yeah,
Yes.
from the last time it was from 2022, so
See, and like, I'm not even using those amounts, I'm using
the less, the 16
what
less
are,
salary.
like, as, like, what is it,
Yeah.
fair wage or whatever.
Sure,
it is.
yeah.
So this is what it would have been for this whole year, that's what we got.
So the other question I have, this is a report that we submit.
Yeah, we submit this
And-
to KTV.
Is there room for us to submit what our monetary value was? All those things that we picked up in donations, city brought there.
It's,
We can, but, I mean, it's not like, I don't submit this actual report, like,
Right.
it's certain questions in the
it's
system.
a survey.
Yeah.
It's basically you're going through the
It's a
survey.
it's a
Yeah.
Q&A and you've got to
Right.
do the whole thing.
Yes.
But the question is there any room in there to say, over and above the $226,000 of volunteer value that we brought into this organization, we also were able to collect X amount of donations, and the city participated this way, the county participated this way,
That's where
the
you
state
put all that in
participated.
the GCAA.
That's what I'm
That's,
saying.
yeah,
Is
that's
it the
where
right
it goes.
place to put
Yeah,
that?
that's for the grant.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I think that if we make this report to the city council at some point, those numbers should be reflected.
Okay. Monetary, and what
Yeah.
else?
The monetary values, it was
Yeah.
the volunteer and the monetary. This number here,
Volunteer and non-
plus whatever monies that were
Okay.
allocated either by city council members, donations, contributions in kind, anything else that is of value. So you can say, this is the best way for us to leverage resources. We leveraged $500,000 with, volunteers and with donations. We could do more if we had more from you, city council, city staff. Just,
In addition to Ruby right here, you've got the district that the event was taking place at, and it's not balanced.
It's
You
not.
might want to try to balance that a little more.
And that's where we're gonna go on this calendar.
Yeah.
That's because there's some, well,
for
let's go
2024.
to, are we done with this one so we can go to the calendar?
I am, if you're done reporting, it's an on.
Yeah, it's just for you
item.
guys to take a look and see how we did this year.
This is your show, Evie. I'm just here as your MC.
So then now we have our 2024 calendar, and what that is one of my concerns. There is a district that I really wanted to visit that we haven't touched at all in the past 2 years that I've been here. I don't think we've done anything.
District 1?
No, we've done something.
Yeah, District 4.
It's District 4.
Oh.
Unfortunately, we're already planning big events, and the district that the partners are considering going to is District 8. We promised Earth Day to a certain organization, and they have chosen District 7, which will be doing District 7 for Earth Day. And we currently have May also set aside, because we had talked about going downtown and doing some stuff. Once again, that's what I have set aside for right now. If we're still gonna do that, then that would be the date. And we would consider it a part of our Great American Cleanup. We'll skip June due to conference and also weather and etc. June, July, and August. But in June, July, and August, we're gonna try to only do our adopt a highways, which are all tentative and set for April 6th, because we have to host our trash off the first week of April. I wanted to do something indoors, something with, I don't know, there's several ideas up there, just haven't decided what. It would be an indoors event, like that we're still active, but something indoors. One of the things that I had thought of would be like recycled runway dress, like
A fashion show
a fashion show
with recyclables.
with recyclables, was something, you know, I wanted to do.
Like old socks or something?
It is a recyclable, I mean, if you think about it.
Boxes or whatever the case may be, but I've never done that, so I do need a, you know, I'll sit down with planning committee and see what they have in mind. I actually already did ask Falcon Bank for a date for their room.
What about artwork as well? Like kind of an art
Yes, we
fashion
can
show
do-
where you do a combination of that. Could we
I
do
like
things
that.
with-
Just, yeah, you can do all
Yeah,
kinds of
and I
stuff.
wanna do something, but let's do it, let's take it indoors, so
Okay,
let's do
but-
something different.
The only thing about summer is the accessibility to children is different.
Yeah,
Because to get the word out is real different. When you do it during the school year, you can work with the clubs and the schools themselves kind of push it.
well, we can still work with the
So-
Boys and Girls Club and
Yeah.
daycare centers around the community.
And maybe do a job for
Yeah, we
because
can
they
do that
would do
too.
an older group.
Yeah, we can work, I mean, there's different organizations that we can reach out to. And even Texas Workforce is another, you know, that's another community member that we can get involved with as well, and they speak to also
It's a
teens
job
and
for too. You could use
Yeah.
the facilities.
so there's that, so that's what we're looking for, June, July, and August. That's something we need to sit down and plan. Then we have September, we would like to do a back to school cleanup for, September 14th. It would be once the kids are already actually back in school and settled. They're looking at getting me September 27th for our KLB awards. If we do not have much success, one is because half of our awardees are city employees and did get, you know, they do still have to work late, and they mentioned that it would have been better if we would have done it like on a Friday. So, I'm gonna try to get us a Friday in September or early October, and a tentative date for Make a Difference would be between the 19th or the 26th, which we would try to include our fall sweep on there, and then November. Let me go back real quick. For the back to school cleanup, I was hoping we could do it in District 4, as mentioned. I wanted to do it like a neighborhood cleanup or something like that. Especially this area, which is District 4, and that we've never visited that district. And it's a little difficult when you're working with other partners that, you know, they have a certain location in mind. For November, Arbor Day, I had originally last year wanted to do Arbor Day with Recycle State combined as a big event, as like a bigger event, where we had a whole bunch of different recycling booths and, you know, tree planting at the same time, for District 1. And then we'll hit up December and start worrying about the new year. So that's how our year will look like. With all, as I mentioned, with all adopted highways tentative with the dates I suggested, and hoping those dates will work.
Okay. For the 4th of May, if we don't get a commitment by the 5th of January, then we can switch to District 4.
Okay.
That would give us an opportunity, give me a couple weeks to talk to her, and if she's not all about that, then.
Yeah.
Plus, I have some concerns now. It is an election year, and she is up for
Yes.
re-election, so better to do it before where he's turned out.
Yes. And that is why we'll visit December 4th, because it would be neutral. That individual is not up for re-election, so that's another thing
Yeah,
too.
for District 4?
Yeah,
That's what-
so District 4, no, yeah.
That's what I was suggesting. So the other thing is, where would we do it if we did it in District 4? What's?
For the Great American Cleanup. So I've had this idea where we could set up at the health department, park everything there, distribute, and we can have different sites with, this site being one, that site being another one. And then you have your rec center as well, where they're all city properties, where we could have like drop-off sites.
Okay,
But once again, be getting together with other city departments, I'll be able to assist, with this.
okay, so we park up the Camioneta, then we go and just kind of just grab from everywhere?
Yeah, the way we've done it before, like at Azteca, I know Azteca is a little bit different because the streets are a bit more close together, but we've done it, we've cleaned up, and they're the areas that need a lot of.
Why are you giggling at me,
That you ask them to bring to clean out their yards and bring all the.
these
or
are
we
very.
go in there and.
No, there's a lot of illegal dumping here. A lot of illegal dumping. If you all were to go down this street right now, you'll see a lot of illegal dumping. And that's something that Azteca has too, a lot of illegal dumping. We went last year and picked up, I think it was like 42 tires or something. We even found a toilet. There's a bunch of stuff there. And it's the same thing for this area as well. And they're the ones that really need the help on. Let me see, I want to actually give you guys the right amount of neighborhood. Okay, so we did 7,600 pounds of trash and 49 tires. Those were the most tires we collected in the event in 2022. 49 tires.
I stood in
So
It's crazy.
it's a lot. And with the work of just 42 volunteers, I still think we did a great job. And it was a very fun cleanup. Yeah, it was a very fun cleanup, and we got a lot of work done.
Okay, well, I'll make my pitch. Let's see what happens.
Okay, so you guys
But I
are
like
good?
the idea, and also kind of resolve that other issue.
Yeah.
As we try not to be part of something like that, she's gonna have t-shirts and that kind of thing maybe going by that time. But, yeah,
Yeah.
the whole,
So we like this, we're good. So plan your year, guys, around this.
okay.
Because I did.
So our next date and time for the next meeting for January?
January 10th.
Works for me, what works for you? First day back to school for the kids, and it's a good day.
Okay.
I'll be back for my national park trip.
Okay. Everybody good then with January 10th?
It's just my daughter and I driving.
January
Really?
10th.
Oh, that's scary driving now. In Colorado. Driving is with it, except he was undriving.
5:30?
5:30 works for me, but works for everyone else.
When 5? January 10th at 5:30.
Okay. All right, so then any items for the next meeting that everyone wants to bring? Anybody else want to discuss anything new, anything we're not working on, anything we'd like to work on?
Well, currently I'm working on I'm gonna start working on our reports and our grants and all that delicious stuff.
Are we having a separate calendar for the planning committee?
We're doing a separate calendar.
Like where we're gonna meet?
We should probably have a meeting, an initial one, and then
Right.
plan out.
And you all plan out
Sure.
your
I should
schedule?
have said that. Are we scheduling that now or?
I'll schedule it with you guys. Remember that committee meetings are posted during the day.
You know what's not on here, Rubes? WBCA.
Yeah, adjourn.
Are we gonna do a
Meeting
float?
adjourned.
Are we gonna float one or not?
No, I think we're too late in the game.
The deadline's over.
Yeah.
Well, that, and I think
That
that
is
we need
not
to save on
true.
that.
Not true. We
No,
could
it
get
is.
the
The
float.
deadline
They
is-
make it no.
The deadline is the beginning of December.
Well, usually they say that, but not necessarily.
They extended it and it ended on Friday.
I can actually
And
take it
funding
or
wise,
present it.
We don't have the money.
right now, we don't have money.
Okay.
I mean, we gotta,
I'm just saying.
Why don't we do something different, like just walk? Or, take some trash cans and just walk and have the sign, keep Laredo beautiful.
because also,
Golf cart.
I may not be here and I wanna have to run to the conflict of she's not gonna be here. Yeah, we're still working on our Keep America Beautiful application, and the days of the parade are the days of conference with KAB. And, I would
That's
be in
more
Washington,
That's
yeah,
more important to me than
yeah.
It is
WBCA.
important.
And that's
We get
something we're
funding
working on
from
right
them.
now.
Okay, well then, I'm good with that.
Okay,
If
yeah.
you're good with that, I'm good with that.
Yes.
Is Work okay with that?
We are good with it. We are totally.
This
supporting
year.
it.
This year.
This
will be
year.
this year. All right. I have that completes our agenda, so do I have a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second motion for him.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Meeting is adjourned.